But he does not know that he has to receive from the pure source by oral reception. One has to hear from the pure source what is actually benefit to the human society. These are the qualifications. Suchisrava. Then next word is Sattarata. Satta means truth and Rata means engaged. One who is engaged in the matter of the absolute truth, not relative truth. Absolute Sattarata. And Dhitavrata. Dhitavrata, Vrata means vow. And Dhrita means who has taken vow that I shall do this. These are the qualifications. Now, when these qualifications are there, then Narad Muni entrusts Vyasdeva that you can liberate all the conditioned souls. How? Conditioned soul, samadhina anusmara tad vichistitam. Simply you try to contemplate, meditate on the activities of the Supreme Lord. Samadhina. This is samadhi. Yoga process means to come to the stage of samadhi. Ashtanga yoga. Yoga means there are 8 different stages, and the last stage is called samadhi. The first stage is yam, sangyam, controlling the senses, yoga indriya samyam. The beginning of yoga system means you have to control your senses. This is the first beginning. It is not a plaything. That you do all nonsense and you become a yogi. No. These things are very clearly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. You have to regulate your life, you have to stop sex life, you have to eat certain procedure, you have to sit under certain procedure in this way. You have to follow so many regulative principles. That is called yam. Niyam. Niyam means regulative principle. Yang means controlling the senses. Yang, niyam. Then asana. Then sitting posture. Generally, in these yoga societies in your country, they give some lesson on the sitting posture and people become captivated that he is practicing yoga. No. First one has to follow regulative principles and control the senses, then practice the sitting posture. Yang, niyam, asana, prana. And when your sitting posture is correct, then you can exercise breathing. Exercise. Breathing exercise means the nostril which is stopped breathing. You have to press that side and try to breathe from the other side. In this way, breathing exercise. Yam, niyam, asana, prana. This is called prana. Then dhyan, meditation. And what is that meditation? That meditation, here it is recommended. Tad vichestitam. Meditation on the activities of the Supreme Lord. If the Supreme Lord is impersonal, then what is the question of activities? And how you can concentrate your mind something impersonal. Bhagavad Gita says that klesha adhikatarastesham abbakta shaktachetasam. Those who are trying to meditate on the impersonal feature, their process is very troublesome. Klesha adhikatara. Adhikatara means greater. Any spiritual realization without painstaking, without accepting some voluntary trouble, and nobody can very easily eating, drinking, wearing. No, that is not spiritual advancement. One has to accept voluntarily some principle. That is called tapasya. So, dhyan. Dhyan means meditation. So that dhyan, then dharana. Dharana means meditating, then the subject matter will be fixed up in your heart. It will not move. Not that every day I am meditating on some new subject. No. The meditation is Vishnu Murti. Actually, those who are yogis, they meditate on the four-handed Vishnu Murti. Matpara. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Matpara. Unto me. Either Krishna or Vishnu. That is meditation. Dhyan dharana. And one is practiced. Meditating, first beginning from the lotus feet. These things are all explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Then gradually, when you are practiced to think of Krishna's lotus feet or Vishnu's lotus feet, then you proceed. Then the thighs, then the waist, then the chest, then the mouth, the face. Then in this way, one after another, you have to meditate. In this way, when your meditation is fixed up, that is called dharana. Dharana, that it is not moving. Dhyan dharana. Then pratyahar. Pratyahar means that your senses have been withdrawn from material engagement. The example is just like the tortoise. The tortoise can wind up all these parts of the limbs of the body within, immediately. And when it is required, he can expand. So pratyahar means that you have to withdraw the sensual activities inside. Then when you withdraw your senses for inside activities, that is Krishna consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. You have to think always how to satisfy Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesa Sevanam. Therefore Rishik means the senses. And Rishikesha means the master of the senses. Krishna is the master of the senses. I am possessing my hand, but actually the owner of the hand is Krishna. These things are very nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita. Matta smriti jnanam apohanancha. Suppose you are writing with your hands. Though your memory must be acting, otherwise you cannot write. If your memory, if your brain does not act, how you can write? Suppose you are typing. If memory does not act, then what is the use of this hand or your leg? And then Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says, Sarvasya chahang hridi sannivishta. I am sitting in everyone's heart. Matta smriti jnana. The knowledge and memory is from me. Therefore, when Krishna gives you memorization, gives you knowledge, then you can write or do something. Therefore, this hand is not yours. It is Krishna's. And Krishna consciousness means to know that this hand does not belong to me, it is Krishna's. Therefore, it must be engaged in Krishna's service. Rishik, this Indriya, this sense, Rishikena, by these senses. Rishikesa, the master of the sense, should be served. Rishikena, Rishikesa, Sevanam, service. Bhakti, this is bhakti. Bhakti is nothing new or something extraordinary. Simply to know, to be conscious that all my senses, they belong to Krishna.